Video 6, soundboard overview. After the soundboard has been turned on, you need to be familiar with what it looks like and how it works. You can start by looking at the tracks themselves, which have labels. The lav is the speaker's headset when using the lavalier microphone. The red microphone is coordinated to the red color on the microphone itself. This is oftentimes used for announcements and or the speaker will use this. The blue microphone, normally used by Cherry Brandy. The yellow microphone, normally used by Amy. The white microphone, normally used by Amber. Mic with one stripe, mic with two stripes. These are extra microphones that we can use if needed. Funk guitar is used on the stage through through one of the DI plugins, and that will be used as needed. The keys is the keyboard that is on the stage. That is the volume control for the keyboard. The bass is the bass DI plugin, which is on the stage and used for the bass. Acoustic guitar is both acoustic and electric based on what the musician is using. Cymbals and drums are both for the drum set, but the cymbals and the drums are controlled independently with two different faders for correct leveling. The keys microphone is the microphone at the keyboard. The computer is the computer itself, and this should always be at 0. This fader should not move. It should always be at 0. After you see these main faders, you can move over to this side, and these are sub buses or control buses. And the first one is instruments. This controls all the instruments that are being played. So if you are operating the soundboard and the instruments are louder collectively, you can use this to control them collectively. It controls an overall sound level for all the instruments. Likewise with track 2, which is a vocal, which is the vocal bus. So all of the vocals are controlled collectively through this one bus. If you need to change them all, you can raise them or lower them to help even out the sound. This is very useful and should be used to set proper sound leveling. The third is the computer. This is the only fader that should be used to adjust the sound coming from the computer. You can use this one. However, this one should not move from 0. This is the fader that you use to adjust the computer. The USB for track 4 is used for the sound that is loaded onto this USB, and you'll see that in a different aspect of the video. But you use this to control the volume for the music that is played through the USB. So always start this at the infinite 0, and then after you have press play on it, fade it up. When you're done, fade it down before turning it off. There should never be a instant stop or instant start point. The pads are controlled here through track 6. These are the atmospheric sounds that are played through the iPod or iPad on the stage by the worship team. And again, you control that through this fader. Now to access the volume level for the pads, you come back over to the main faders, and you hit CH17 through 32. And when you hit that, you'll notice that the board automatically changes, and you will see channel 23 and 24, CH23, CH24, are both used to control. They're controlled together. They're both used to control the pads. This should always be at 0 and should be unmuted. If the worship is explaining that they do not have the volume for the pads, you need to click on the CH17 30 through 32 and verify that this is unmuted and on 0. If that is, then you can come back over here, ensure that channel 6, which controls the pad, is unmuted, and then begin to adjust the volume level from here. You never adjust it from the other faders. You only adjust it from here. Let's see. The master or the mains are controlled here, left, right on the indicator. This should be unmuted, and this should always be at 0, and you should adjust the volume levels through these other faders. This should not be lower than 0, nor should it be higher than 0. It should always be at 0, and you adjust the volume level through the other faders. You can instantly mute groups by clicking effects and clicking band or clicking PC. When these are lit red, that means that those groups on the board itself have been muted, and then you need to make sure that you unmute them. If you want the PC to work, you need to make sure it's unmuted, and you need to make sure that when the worship team is performing, that not only is the band unmuted, but also the effects are unmuted. As the worship band finishes and you get the signal to mute them, this is a very fast way to mute all the instruments without having to go through and do them individually. But ensure that the effects is always unmuted, otherwise the band will not sound correct.